Good day, everyone, and welcome to this second episode on the HO scale. Jondo and Eastern switching layout. Um, I apologize for my grouchy voice this morning. I'm just getting off a very bad cold, so I'm still not feeling 100%. Today's episode number 2, we will take a closer look at the module number 1. Uh, More details, I guess, on how this module is set up, and then we will catch up with the switching crew in the yard as they are getting their locomotive ready. They're doing a brake test and inspection, and then they need to pull a cut of cars and do a runaround move. So we'll see a little bit of action this morning. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so module number one. Module number 1 for the Jondo and Eastern Railroad. First of all, I'd like to say I apologize for the background noise. I have a couple of 3D printers running right now, so if you hear some noise there, I apologize. That's what happens when you have your layout in your studio. So everything's combined in the same place. Okay, so looking at this module, we'll take an in-depth look at this module today. First of all, for the stats, it's a HO scale, and it measures 18 inches wide by 8 feet long. So from one end of this module till the joint here, so that's 8 feet long. And as you know, it's set in my workshop on top of my tools. So let me just take you to the end here so you can get a feel of the width. 18 inches. So yeah, it's a tight fit a little bit, but still. Now on this layout, I'm keeping things very, very simple. So there's really not a lot of laser cutting or 3D printing. This layout is it's all Walters stuff. It's all Walters kits for the buildings. It's Walters track. It's Walters everything. Even the rolling stock, most of it is Walters. So, like I said, any 14-year-old could build a layout like this. It's very, very basic Walters stuff. Yes, I did kit bash the buildings a little bit, but it's mostly a matter of rearranging the walls. There's no really heavy kit bashing here. It's just I'm not always following the instructions, but you know, it's very basic. A little bit of paint, a little bit of weathering. So yeah. So taking a closer look, construction wise, this module it's all built on 2-inch styrofoam that is laid out on a pine frame. The backdrop is 1/8 inch masonite, same as the fascia. So really not expensive in terms of materials to get this started. And what this module is, it's my staging yard. So it's the yard where I come with my locomotive to get the cars that I need for the industrial park businesses. So there are 3 tracks here, which are my sort of my holding yard, sorting yard, whatever you want to call it. And then the other two tracks here are there's the access track and the runaround track. So I can get here with the train. I just cut the locomotive off of the train and I move to this side of the crossover here, and then I do a runaround move and position my locomotive at this end so I can do the switching that needs to get done. And the other track, which is the station track, that track is mostly to park cars that I really like, but I can't use for the needs of this layout, because there are 4 industries on the layout, and I have cars that are not really fit for any of the industries, so I just park them there just because I like them, and I switch them around once in a while because I have a few more cars than space. So every once in a while I'll just remove a car and replace it with, you know, like next car is probably going to be a couple of ballast cars, or it could be a caboose, something maintenance of way related. Sometimes it's just a locomotive that's parked there idling, waiting for orders. So track wise for the design, that's what it is. It's all Walters Code 83 rail. I'm using the Caboose Industries ground throws. I did make my own little targets here because I like the arrows. I think it's, you know, when you're switching, it's clear, you know, where you're going. So yeah, kind of like these little targets, homemade targets. In terms of buildings, what's here? There's an abandoned station, because this represents a yard that was, you know, probably owned by CN or CP. I would tend to say CP because of the look of this station here, which looks a little bit more like a CP Class 2 station. So it's a yard that's probably still belongs to CN or CP, where they drop off the cars. For my personal railroad, which is called the Caledonia Rail. But this station here, it's abandoned. As you can see, it's all boarded up. And that's, I'm gonna say it, but you guys already know, it's a Walters kit. Built pretty much as is. I just boarded up a few windows and doors here and put a lot of scraps around. So this station on my layout is no longer being used, but they still use the maintenance of way shed here, which is another Walters kit, modified a little bit. And eventually I will have some maintenance of way equipment that'll be parked here. I have a bunch of custom finishing kits, ballast regulators and tampers and everything. I need to assemble them, but those will be parked on this track right here. So yeah, that's their maintenance of way building that they're still using. That's why there's lights here. There's an old road there that leads to the station, and as you can see, not very well maintained. It's this area here represents the edge of the industrial park. The city or the town of Covington, which is something I made up there. They have their public works yard here where they keep all their stuff, pipes and equipment for the public works department. Another Walters kit. The fence, however, is homemade. I used brass rods and some tulle, which is a fabric that's used for wedding veils. So, but yeah, this represents the edge of the industrial park. It's sort of the older section, which is there's not a lot here. There's a photo building back there. There's again a photo, but it's kind of made like a 3D cut photo, which is layered for the Technifab building here. Technifab, what they do is they make fiberglass truck cargo boxes, and this is based on reality. Back in 2001, when I was in Edmonton in New Brunswick, there was a company, I can't recall the name, but there was a company that used to make fiberglass cargo truck boxes. And back then I had a sign shop, and I had a pretty big contract with Location Pelletier, which is a rental company. They had their trucks made there and painted, and I had the contract to do all the lettering on these trucks. So of course I still had the graphics, but we're not gonna tell them, are we? I still had the graphics, so I printed them and made a few trucks, just like I used to make them back in the day. So yeah. As for the rest of the land here for the industrial park, they're trying to sell the land, so there's a sign there, turn ad, realty. So if you're wondering, yeah, that's my wife. She doesn't have a realty company. It's just something I made up there, but I used her photo. So call Bunny Theriault and she'll set you up if you need some commercial land in Covington. Other details, there's there's my little poles here. I don't know if I can zoom on the poles. It's probably going to be tough. These are just little wooden dowels that I dressed up with wire and little numbers. We can't really see the numbers, but let me see if I can get this in focus here. Yeah, there you go. Number 25, is it? Yep. Each pole has a unique number. So that's a little bit of scratch building. The wires, those are lycra thread, sewing thread, so they really stretch. So, just in case when I'm working on something and I get entangled in the wires while working, well, it's not gonna pull anything, it's not gonna break anything. Lycra, you can get that on Amazon. Trees are store-bought from a seller in China. Found that on eBay about maybe a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, when I started the layout. and they were reasonably priced back then, and they're really nice. But I guess the guy is now very, very popular, and he has almost doubled the price of his trees, so they're kind of out of price now. You're looking at $54 for, I think it's 3 or 4 trees in a pack, in Canadian dollars. So yeah, I'm not gonna pay that price. Good thing I bought them when I did. I think that's about it for the details on this little module here. Like there's a bunch of little things here, but like I said, Walters, like the uh, the guardrails here for the highway, for the road, tall Walters. The asphalt is made out of cork sheets, which I covered with a crackle paste and then painted. So nothing really complicated. Like I said, I'm keeping this very, very simple. The backdrop is just photos taken with my phone, printed on my home printer, and glued to the backdrop. So very, very simple. So there you go. This is module number 1. I'll try to have updates on the other modules as I build them. I have module number 2 that's almost ready, so I should have another video in the coming weeks. But then after that it might take a little while, because the other modules I still have a lot of work to put on them. So I hope you enjoy. See you next time.